Namaste and a very good evening to all of you. I welcome you to my channel, The Outlier. My name is Mithun. In today's video, we'll be looking at how to create very interesting visualizations using NDAP platform. Even before I proceed to demonstrate how to create very interesting and insightful visualization using NDAP, may I request you to subscribe to my channel, also like and share my videos. Let's first access the NDAP platform. To access the NDAP platform, you can come to Google. In Google, you can simply type NDAP and hit the enter button. The very first option here will lead you to the homepage of NDAP. NDAP stands for National Data and Analytics Platform. It is a flagship initiative by the Niti Aayog. It provides access to close to 1,000 datasets. Let me go ahead and click the NDAP option. You can see here, right now, we are in the official homepage of NDAP. As it says clearly here, we can explore India's public datasets here. If you already know the kind of datasets that you want to use, you can simply go ahead and type the name of the dataset in the search button. For example, you can type here census data or agriculture, and NDAP will display the appropriate dataset. The other option that you have is to simply scroll down. Here, you have the datasets being arranged by different sectors. There are 15 different sectors, and you can access the dataset from any of these 15 sectors. I'm interested in accessing the female literacy rate. To access the female literacy rate, what I'll do is I'll click on the education sector. Let me go ahead and hit this particular button. This will lead me to what is called as the data catalog. You can see here the list of datasets. I'm going to scroll down. Here, under the section Population Census 2011, you have an option which is called as Female Literacy Rate 2011 Census. It gives a very short description of the dataset that we are working on. Date uploaded on 2nd Jan 2023. There are 16 columns. I can click on this particular option. This will lead to a new page, which is called as the female literacy rate based on 2011 census. There are three options at the top. One is the profile option. Second one is data table. And the third one is the visualization section. What happens in the profile is this gives you the profile of the dataset. Since we are working on literacy rate, this provides you an overview of the dataset. It's always a good practice to just understand at a very high level what is the dataset that we are dealing with. As you can read clearly, the dataset gives information regarding the male and female population on urban and rural areas and also the female literacy rate. The literacy rate in 2001 was 64%, which improved to 72% in 2011. Interestingly, the literacy rate improved sharply among females by 10 percentage points from 53 to 64%, as compared to a rise of 5 percentage points in the case of males from 75 to 80%. So this gives a very high level perspective about what the dataset is all about. In the right hand side, you can see additional information like source of the dataset. Here it is Ministry of Home Affairs, collection population census 2011. Geographical coverage would be at the state level, which is further broken down by district and sub-district. And other useful information like the frequency, which is at a yearly level. The year range is 2011 and the date on which the data was uploaded was 2nd Jan 2023. Here you can look at the preview of the data. You have data which is at the level of country, state, and district. Further, you can see sub-district, year, and other useful details. Let's now look at metadata. What is metadata? Metadata is simply data about data. Some of the important dimensions are listed here, like country, state, district. We have already seen this. Let me scroll down. You can see here the indicators section. In the indicators section, very important descriptive statistics like minimum, maximum, mean, median, aggregate function. Also, the weight variable and the unit of each and every variable is displayed. Here, mostly the units would be percentage. If there is any scaling factor, that would also be mentioned here. You have a list of indicators, and for each of these, you can expect information about 5 important statistics. All these things are present in the profile of the data. Next, we can click on the option Data Table. Let me choose the option Proceed. In this section, what you'll see is country, state, district, and sub-district. Further, you have other important columns like year, rural male, rural female, total rural. The same information gets repeated for urban sector as well, wherein you can see urban male, urban female, total urban, so on and so forth. This actually gives you the preview of the data. We've seen the profile, we've seen the data table. Now, in case you want to apply any visualization, you need to click on the visualization button. In the visualization section, you can see NDAP allows you to create a chart here. There are at least 8 different options here: line chart, bubble chart, scatter chart. You also have column chart, pie chart, map view, tree map, so on and so forth. The first thing that I'll do is to click on pie chart here. The moment I click on pie chart, you can see here there are 2 options that are being listed. The first is label and the second one is series. In the label section, I can click on add label. Here, there are 5 dimensions which are being displayed. You can choose country, state, or district. I will choose district. Let me click on this particular option and hit the apply button. Next, you have the series option. You can choose the option add indicator. In the add indicator, there are 10 indicators that you can choose: rural male, rural female, total rural, and there are other important variables as well. I'll choose rural female. You can also choose the appropriate statistic. Let's say by default, it'll go by sum. You can choose count, average, max, or min, or standard deviation, or weighted average of the population. What I'm going to do is choose the option average and click on apply. The moment you click on apply and scroll down, you can see a pie chart that's been created. This will give you the distribution of the literacy rate amongst the females in the 10 districts of Karnataka, like Dakshina Kannada, Udupi, Kodagu, Uttara Kannada, Bangalore Urban, so on and so forth. From among all the numbers, the biggest number is 11.1%. That corresponds to Dakshina Kannada. The next biggest number is 11%, which corresponds to Udupi district. You have other numbers as well. I can look at 10.7%, and when I hover the mouse on top of 10.7%, you can see NDAP displays the name of the district as Kodagu. One other useful piece of information is when you scroll down, you can see the district-wise distribution of the average rural female literacy. In case you want to export this, you can export this to a CSV for further analysis. This would be the average of the rural females literacy for all the districts. One interesting thing that you can do is you can change the color of the chart. How do you do this? You can choose chart options. There are 4 different options: blue brown, blue green, violet pink, and yellow or orange. You can experiment with any of these options. I've chosen blue green. You can also choose violet pink or yellow orange. I'll stick to the option blue green here. This is very important because you do not have to download the data set and let's say use Excel or SPSS to create these attractive visualization. NDAP offers you all the facilities of creating the graphs within NDAP platform itself. Let me scroll up. You can log into NDAP, which is useful especially when you want to download the chart. Let me click on the option login here. It's asking me to provide the email and the password. I can do this. I'll type my password and hit the login button. No thanks. Here at the top right hand side corner, you can see the button which says download visualization. I'm going to click on the option download visualization. Right at the top in the download section, you can see here the distribution of the average literacy rate of females broken down by different districts. Let me click on the option open file. You can see here, this is the pie chart which we had created. In case you want to use this in PowerPoint or for your research, you can easily do this. So this is how you can create a simple pie chart, which is one of the first options which I wanted to demonstrate. Let me close this particular button, hit the escape option. For some reason, let's say you're not happy with the pie chart and you want to show a bar chart here. How do you display a bar chart? Here in the drop-down menu, right now it is displaying pie chart. I'm going to click on the drop-down menu. You have a list of options here. I'll choose the option column chart. It takes a couple of moments, and after a couple of moments, you can see here for each and every district of Karnataka, it is showing you the average female literacy rate in the rural sector. The first 3 would be Bagalkot, Ballari, and Belgavi. This is the rural literacy rate. Let me scroll down. As you move towards the right side, you can see for each and every district, it is giving you the literacy rate. Further, when I scroll down, you can see the district-wise distribution of the average literacy rate amongst the females. So this is how we can create either a pie chart or a bar chart. It's very, very easy to shift from one graph to the other graph in NDAP. Lastly, what I want to do is I want to create a map. How do I create a map from the existing options? Again, I'll have to look at create a chart. In the drop-down menu, there are different options. You can see here, there's a button for map view. Let me click on the option map view. What you're seeing here is the map of Karnataka. This is because this data specifically gives you information only for the different districts in Karnataka. I can select the particular map. In this particular map, you can see different districts being shown. You can also create a heat map. Right now, it is showing the average of rural female, which is measured as a percentage. Let me replace the indicator. Instead of rural female, what I'm going to do is I can scroll down and choose, let's say, urban male or maybe urban female. I'll again, instead of choosing sum, choose the option average and hit apply. Let me scroll down. You can see here what is the distribution of the literacy rate. Each district is given a different color. When you look at the light blue color, the percentage of literacy here is very, very low. As you move towards some of the other shades of blue, you can see 77 to 82. You can see here 82 to 89. So different shades of blue represent different levels of literacy. I can hover the mouse here to see what is the distribution of the literacy rate in the Raichur district. Further, in Koppal district, you can see it is 68.8%. In Ballari, it is 60.26. This is how we can make sense of the distribution of the literacy rate in the Karnataka map. There's an additional detail that you can use, which is the bubble size. Here, I can click on Add Indicator. Let me scroll down. The bubble size can represent any of these variables. I'll choose the option, since I've chosen average of urban females, I can also choose average of urban male. You can choose any variable. I'm choosing this particular variable, average, and then you can just hit the apply button. Now, what you're seeing is different bubble sizes being displayed. You can see here some of the bigger bubbles represent a range from 90 to 96. However, the smaller bubbles represent a range from 0 to 43 here. I can see quite a big bubble here. This is for Dakshina Kannada, which represents the male literacy for the urban sector. It is around 95.22. Similarly, for Hassan, we have a big number, 91%. Then you have for Chikmagaluru, the number is 92.36. This is how you can use the bubble size as a good way or as a good indicator to show any of the metrics that you want on the map. Further, I can choose the chart option. You have map blue. You can choose map gold. This is entirely under your control. You can experiment with any of these options to bring out the necessary insights. You have green, map sand, or map blue. So this is how the representation changes with each choice that you make. With this, I have come to the end of today's video. In today's video, we've seen 3 important visualizations that you can create. We've seen how to create a pie chart. Then we moved on to how to create a bar chart. Then finally, we saw how to create a map in NDAP platform. There are other interesting visualizations as well, which I encourage my audience to try out. The advantage here is that you don't have to download the data set and again create a chart, let's say in Excel. All of these things can be easily done, may it be a table, may it be different graphs. We can do it locally in NDAP. It also provides a very, very interesting option to download the visualization in case you want to export the table. That again can be done easily. With this, I have come to the end of today's video. I thank you very much for watching this particular video. I request you to subscribe to my channel, also like and share my videos. Thank you very much once again. Have a great day ahead.